everyone, I'm Zach and welcome back to another episode of Off the Pipe. I'm here with Michelle, the other founder of Glass Academy, and we are going to ask Michelle some questions that the viewers sent in. So, without further ado, we're going to get right to it. So, we know that you work very hard at the Glass Academy. What do you like to do outside of work? What are some of your hobbies and favorite pastimes?
So I like being outdoors a lot. I volunteer on a farm 2 days a week in the summer, so that thing I really enjoy because it gets my hands in the soil and meeting new people and just watching the colors and patterns of the farm I love. I'm working on natural movement, which is being outdoors and climbing trees and like swing sets and swinging. So that's kind of a passion that I want to dive into more.
Awesome.
And what else? That's it, Brandon.
All right, well, one of the viewers writes in and is asking you if you would share the story behind why you chose the German Shorthair Pointer as a dog. They say that they recently lost one, and seeing Poe on the feed sometimes really warms their heart and brings them a lot of joy.
Yeah, so Poe we had a Weimaraner, and the kids grew up with them, and I realized the value of a dog, and so both of the kids were kind of moving out. The dog was at his end. We put him to sleep. It was really hard and painful, and I thought, we're not going to get another dog, and then I was tired of walking around the neighborhood by myself, because reality is the dog's going to get you out and walking. So the kids had wanted, Chris and Lucy were really interested in a German Short-Haired Pointer. I found one, they raised it, it was amazing. We loved the couple who raised it, and so we got that dog.
That's awesome.
And he's super needy and needs to be by us like every second of the day, but it's good.
Yeah, my parents just got a puppy, and I'll have to tell them to keep him in line.
Yeah.
Dogs are a handful, but they're also a joy.
Yeah.
Definitely. Did you expect your kids to follow you into your line of work? What was the kind of, because the thought process, because you're a family of artists, so growing up, was there a grooming process?
We did homeschooling, so they were involved in everything we did. We went to art fairs, and we traveled, we went to museums, history places. They were really involved in all of that. And so I think it was just a natural instinct. I mean, cooking, any of those things, being outdoors, raking leaves, building snowmen in the winter, all of those things, I don't think they realized how much of an artist they were.
Sure.
So then they went to the Rudolph Steiner School in Ann Arbor, which celebrates that. It's kind of like that show Fame from the 80s, the movie that was made. So they could develop music and singing, and they had all these passions. I did not expect them to be this early on in our career. I am overjoyed and thrilled that they are.
Yeah.
Because I think it's a really nice balance, and I think we all work well and have different strengths and different areas of passion within the business.
Definitely.
So I think that part worked out really well. I am overjoyed that they're in the business.
Fantastic. So last personal question, and we're going to get into some work stuff. You recently took a trip out to Yellowstone. What was the funniest or weirdest or just most fulfilling part of that trip?
So I thought driving out there I could work on my computer while we're driving, right? Long days. No, it was so beautiful. The landscape was so incredibly different than Michigan, and we've done a lot of north and south travel and west coast, but not across the state. I was dumbfounded by the beauty. It was just insane. It was so cool. And then I think the buffalo, the fact that at Yellowstone there's like buffalo walking next to the car, that just blew my mind.
Definitely.
And it just makes you look at history and how our country evolved, and there was just so much to meditate and think about the history of our country and where we are now. That's
amazing. Yeah, definitely. So we're gonna transition. Sorry about the phone call there. We're gonna transition into some work-life questions. What got you into glass blowing? What was your journey to get to your place in your career where you are right now?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in Dearborn, right around the corner from the Henry Ford Museum. And as a child, my mom always had me. We have 4 kids in our family, and my 3 were older, and I was kind of on my own. So my mom put a lot of crafts in front of me, and I was always doing things like that. But then I was interested in history, so I thought I was going to be a history major, but what do you do with a history major? What do you do with an art degree?
Become a professor, maybe.
Yeah, so I was really interested in the Henry Ford because of the history. Went and got a job there. I knew I was good with my hands. Pottery was full, so they said, here's this thing called glass blowing. So you kind of had to pick your niche. I did that, found out I was pretty good at it, and that's why I stayed and pursued it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's turned into an amazing career for you.
Yeah. Yeah, who knew?
What are some of your inspirations in the world of glass or art in general that you take and apply to your work and your career now?
So I actually really like Dale Chihuly for the business aspect and how he was able to take a craft and elevate it through using Italian masters that came over, people he hired building his studio. He really turned it and gave it the platform it needed for the rest of the studio movement, for people behind him. He also went to Italy and studied with people and wasn't afraid to try new things. I mean, I think he really stepped out of the box. So I find him a huge influence. Andrew Goldsworthy is another one who is an outdoor artist, landscape artist. And so I think between the two of them, those are where I pull the inspiration for the business and the items we make and how we do it.
Yeah, definitely. What is in your eyes, your biggest accomplishment in your career?
The one that's around the corner. I'm really hard on celebrating accomplishments because I feel like it's a journey and it's a path. So there's never one thing like, yay, I've arrived because I've done this. I just feel it's constantly evolving. So
yeah, I mean it's like you said, it's a journey, and I think the more that you look forward to the future, the more you can accomplish sometimes. Definitely.
Yeah.
What's your how is it working with your family and managing, the family side of things?
The wild herd.
Exactly. You work with your family, and obviously, you have those relationships. So how is it? What is it like managing that, and then also, being, accountable to your business?
Oh, there's like many layers to that. I think I call myself the creative director of the Glass Academy. I kind of hold the vision, and I think as a mother you probably do that. You kind of hold the vision of what the whole company is and which path it's going in best.
Mm-hmm.
And within that, I think I do, allow each of the individuals that work with us that have areas, and the family included, to shine on their expertise. I think it's important, like Chris and Jake are very good at blowing. I think it's important to feature them on the live shows, but it's also important for me to jump in so other women see, like, I can do this, but I've allowed them to do it as well, and I enjoy this, but I have other passions in the business. My role in the business has ebbed and flowed over the years, and I certainly wouldn't have thought, being trained as a technical glass artist, that I'd be in the role I am now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's constant learning and evolution and a journey, and I'm really enjoying it. And once I learn part of the business, then I can hand it off to someone else, and I'm learning the next thing.
Yeah.
Right? Where Chris and Jake might be more interested in learning the technical aspect,
Mm-hmm.
that's just not somewhere that, probably because I worked 8 years at full-time production, that I just didn't pursue that.
Yeah, definitely. So we are going to move into some speed round questions now. Just quick answers, whatever comes to your mind first.
Okay.
First question: what is your biggest pet peeve?
Crap. Lazy people.
Lazy people. That's a good one.
Sorry.
You work so hard, and then you see people not doing the same thing.
Yeah. Unmotivated. I don't know.
What is your favorite meal, including dessert?
My favorite meal. So I really like Mexican. So I would say like a botana style thing, no meat, no cheese or sour cream, but lots of guacamole and hot salsa and onions and cilantro.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds really
And
good.
dessert, boy. So we're French Canadian. I grew up with tons of desserts, but I would say something like maple syrup candies or something like that. I'm not a huge dessert person.
I'm not either. I like the savory side of things a little bit more. What is your favorite class in school?
Art.
Art, just generally art. If you had one place that you could travel as a vacation spot, what would it be?
I think that's ever changing. We have a trip planned for next year, but after that I think I'd like Hawaii.
Hawaii. I went to Hawaii recently. It is definitely something to check out.
And I want to check out the farms. I want to check out people,
Mhm.
farmers who are growing in Hawaii.
Yeah. Make sure you go whale watching. It's incredible. All right, last speed round question. When are we going to see you doing some more glass blowing on the live feed?
Well, I just did last night. I guess it depends on the products that we're doing. If they're highly technical, I don't like it, but if they're prototypes and starting pieces, I'm fine with doing that.
Yeah, we saw you make that tree with Jake a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Yeah. All right, well, that's wrapping up the questions. We do have an important message from one of your fans. And there's a note here that says, you will know who this is, but Riker would like you to know that he doesn't know how to make glass, but he really appreciates everything that you guys do on the live feeds and everything like that. So with that, we're going to wrap this episode up. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And we will see you at during the next episode of Off the Pipe.
Thank you.